Now, Cap KVU local news at 6.
Talk about a highway headache. Now at 6 o'clock, law enforcement now taking action in Union Gap before a rising number of distracted driving and speeding incidents turn deadly. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm Madeline Hagan.
And I'm Alyssa Warner. Reports show 745 people died in crashes across the state of Washington in 2022. That's the most we've seen since 1990. And State Patrol is doing emphasis patrols trying to get those numbers down.
So is the Union Gap Police Department, but Cap KVU's Emily Goodell tells us it's not because they have too many fatalities, but that they don't want any at all.
This is one of those occasions that, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure.
If you're driving through Union Gap, expect to see more police officers on Autanum Road, Valley Mall Boulevard, and Main Street for an emphasis patrol, targeting the increased number of drivers speeding or using cell phones on the road.
Driving behaviors that we know are responsible for the majority of serious injury and fatality collisions. We're not going to wait for that tragedy to occur here before we do what we can to stem that behavior.
Police say education works for some, but for others, it takes enforcement.
And so for this emphasis, more than likely, if you get stopped for speeding and distracted driving, you're going to get a ticket.
Washington State Patrol Trooper Chris Thorson says they're doing their own emphasis patrol, starting April 16th in Yakima, Tri-Cities, and Walla Walla.
Emphasis patrols are never about making money and writing tickets. What we want to emphasize is, hey, remember that there is a law for you to move over for emergency vehicles and tow trucks on the highways.
If you don't, you might hurt a trooper, like one driver did in January on I-82 near Sunnyside.
A trooper was on a traffic stop on the right shoulder. Someone didn't follow the move over law and actually lost control on the highway and slammed into the back of that trooper.
That trooper back to work now, but others.
We've had troopers here, I know right here in this area, that have been hit so hard at highway speeds that they had life-changing neck and shoulder injuries, which required surgeries, which made them, not be able to do the job anymore. So it's that serious.
That's why they warn people ahead of time and ask them to pay attention.
We know driving distracted leads to collisions. So we just like to politely ask people, hey, it's not about you always. There's other people out on this roadway with their family and friends and loved ones. So keep them in consideration as well.
Reporting, Emily Goodell, Cap KVU, local news.
And troopers aren't starting their emphasis patrols in Yakima, Tri-Cities, and Walla Walla until April 16th, but Union Gap Police are starting right away.